But I kept coming back to the image of that child as I entered my teen years and wanted to do something meaningful with my life, because I came across the writings of Blessed Mother Teresa of Calcutta, and many of you, I'm sure, have seen her, and she's a world hero. Forget political affiliation, everyone loves her. She gets a Nobel Peace Prize winner, expert on peace. This little nun, if she was here, she wouldn't even see over the podium. And she had very brave and bold words to say whenever she had the opportunity to speak publicly, which she had many opportunities, about abortion. And at the National Prayer Breakfast in front of Bill and Hillary Clinton, who were not so much in line, shall we say, with our cause, she directed these words to this audience, which of course would be hostile. She says to them, this expert on peace, "The greatest destroyer of peace in the world today is the cry of the innocent unborn child." And then she goes on to say, in a nation where a mother can kill her own child, what is left but for you and for I to kill one another?
If you want to connect with your boss, if he says that it's okay for you to text him and you really need him really short term, then that's okay. I mean, I worked for a senator in California, and he'd be on the floor and he'd be doing a vote, and then he would say, it's okay, you can text me then. That's if I emailed him, I didn't get a hold of him, or if it was something very urgent. But I also realized that that put me in a position where I didn't look as professional. So always put yourself in the most professional field as possible.
I thank my newspaper background for being able to think mostly in headlines, which helps you get down to 140 characters. But I will say, one of the difficulties we have in the office, and largely as conservatives, is that we want to be positive. We love our message. We know that the policies we promote will spread more jobs, growth, and opportunity for the country. But because of where we are, we're in the position to just say no to about darn near everything, and that's not the happiest message of all time. So you have to find opportunities, and I think being able to pick the right times when an issue is hitting in the media. Take, for example, this crisis we're seeing at the border. All these children are coming over alone. Well, conservatives have been screaming for, I don't know, since I got here in 2005 about border security. If you can't point to the border and the children that are living in government, military bases, and show that as a reason to why we finally need to secure the border and stop these dangerous drug smugglers from bringing children over, I don't know what is.
One of the things I write about extensively in my book is a lot like the civil rights movement. The left hijacked the women's rights movement. It was the right side of the political spectrum that actually fought for women's suffrage, who voted for women's suffrage. And it wasn't until the 1960s when the left decided, oh, maybe it would be politically convenient for us to use women as pawns, that they hijacked the movement through socialist policies like these revolutionary ideas. And the left has then gotten credit for being pro-rights movement, the party for women, for decades, even though when history shows that they were actually fighting against a women's right to vote.
Margaret Thatcher taught us that women, especially conservative women, are all capable of being lady freedoms. That in the face of tyranny or the fundamental transformation of our country, we are all called to pick up our swords and our shields and to fight. And that is why she famously said, if you want someone to say something, ask a man. If you want someone to do something, ask a woman. For some women, the battle will be on the school board. For others, it will be quiet prayers in front of an abortion clinic. For some, it will be a sacrificial donation to a fledgling, promising candidate. For others, it will be a blog, or maybe it's an uncomfortable conversation with family or coworkers. For some, it will be in the halls of Congress. For others, it will be standing up to liberal women on The View.
You don't have to reflect the age that you live in. You can set the standard for the age that you live in. Why do I say that? Because Clare Boothe Luce, in my mind, the life that she lived, she set a standard that was counter to the culture. Michelle mentioned that I was up on that stage with the men in 2012 running for president. That was a unique thing to do, but think of Clare Boothe Luce and what a unique individual she was to run for Congress at the time that she ran for Congress, to put clothes on like any other man and go overseas to visit our troops and get on a plane. It wasn't like air travel today when she did that. It was a completely different world. What she was doing was raising the bar and setting a new standard for women that women had never seen before.